Bershers, Rabbi Jacobson, Rabbi Chaitovsky, Mrs. Jacobson, Mrs. Shu, Mrs. Reifer, grandparents, parents, and friends. In Parshat Shalach, we learn about Chet HaMeraglim, the sin of the spies. 12 men were chosen by Moshe to spy out Eretz Canaan, and their efforts resulted in tragedy. Yet when Yoshua sent 2 men to spy out the city of Jericho, the outcome was successful. Why was it different? Rabbi Mordechai Katz, in his Sefer Lil Mod Lil Ameid, gives a possible explanation to the question. He says that Moshe found it necessary to send 12 men representing the 12 tribes, since some of the tribes didn't trust the others and insisted on having their own leaders there. This showed a lack of basic achdus, or unity, among Bnei Israel at the time. By the time of Yehoshua, though, the feeling of brotherhood was more firmly established, and only 2 men were needed to represent the people. This new sense of togetherness helped bring about the success of this mission. The Baal Shem Tov once emphasized the importance of achdus with the following mashal. A king was riding in a forest with his aides when he saw a beautiful bird perched on top of a nearby tree. He ordered that the bird be caught so that he could study it. No ladder was available, and so he ordered his aides to form a human ladder to reach the bird. Each man climbed onto the shoulders of the man below him. The man on top was about to stretch out his hand to snatch the bird when the man on the bottom became impatient and moved slightly. This caused a chain reaction, and men began losing their balance, tumbling down one on top of the other. Meanwhile, the bird, scared by the sudden noise, flew away. Just as each man was needed to form the human ladder, so too each Jew is needed to form the Jewish nation. The life of each Jew is linked to the life of his fellow Jew, so that if one part of the link is weak, the entire chain will suffer or even collapse. However, the opposite is also true, in that if one part of the link is strong, the entire chain can be strengthened. We each have the ability to help each other and hold each other up. I'm proud to be graduating from ASHAR after 11 years here, with a class that represents this concept of achdus. I'm confident that the friendships I have made here will continue. One of my favorite things about my time in ASHAR was playing on the basketball team. Once again, the teamwork that was involved was an example of achdus as we learned to work together. I want to thank my friends for the fun that we've had over the years, and my teachers and Rebbeim for all they have taught me. I want to thank them, as well as the administration, for this honor. I want to thank my grandparents and siblings for supporting me. Thank you to my parents for all that they do for me every single day, including being the ASHAR basketball coach and class mother. Lastly, I want to thank Hashem for all I've been blessed with in my life. Mazel Tov, class of 2021.
ASHAR's Names Not Numbers program was one of the best and most emotional experiences for me and many others. I got to interview my grandfather and hear stories that not only changed his life, but also mine. We got to learn about the Holocaust in the classroom, at museums, and through survivors. I also got to present a PowerPoint about my grandfather on Yom HaShoah to other grades. Every survivor has a special and unique story, and each of them survived with miracles. When we heard them speak firsthand, we all felt a new special connection to the stories we hear about the Holocaust, to these people, and to Holocaust survivors altogether. We are very thankful to these survivors who took time to allow us to interview them, and to the teachers, administrators, and parents who took time to organize such a special event for all of us.
My favorite thing from this year in ASHAR was the trip to the Holocaust Museum. They had really interesting artifacts and stories. They gave us a mini device that told us the story behind each artifact. The museum also had videos about the Holocaust that we can tune into and watch. I learned a lot about the Holocaust from this part of the Names Not Numbers program.
My favorite memory in ASHAR was going on the Washington trip. I loved going to all the museums and learning all about our nation's history. The memorials were amazing. Rabbi C gave us many challenges to make it more fun and exciting. I loved being with my friends that I hang out with in school.
One of my favorite trips in ASHAR was going to the Holocaust Museum. It's because when you're learning about the Holocaust and what occurred in it, and when you go to the museum and see real artifacts and stories and a timeline, you really get a better grip on what actually happened. It's really cool and realistic to see real artifacts of what happened during that time.
My favorite memory of ASHAR was a trip to the Holocaust Museum. I specifically remember the model of the Auschwitz concentration camp and how big it was. And that will stay with me forever.
One of my greatest memories of ASHAR was going on the trip to MetLife Stadium, which was a reward for cleaning a cemetery. This was an amazing trip because we got to check out some lounges, got to go to their museum, and even got to go on the field. And I think without ASHAR, I wouldn't have been able to experience both amazing trips.
My favorite memory from ASHAR was winning the hockey championship last year. I was on the hockey team for 3 years. The first year we tried to win but didn't do well and went 0-8. The next year we made the playoffs. The day of our first playoff game, I pulled a muscle. Even though I was injured, I still played and scored the game-tying goal. Last year we actually reached our goal of winning the championship. I will never forget how it felt winning the trophy.
Last year, our hockey team was a big surprise. We came out of nowhere to win our division championship. We won the championship 1 week before everything shut down because of COVID. Going into this year, we weren't sure if we were going to have regular competition against other schools. But as the year began, we could see that we weren't going to have any league games. This was very disappointing because we had such a good team last year. But we thought we had a chance and we thought we had a shot at the championship this year. ASHAR made the best of a difficult situation, and we started to have hockey practice and scrimmages on Tuesday nights under the guidance of Coach Shaw. This was one of the best times I had this year. I loved playing hockey with my teammates and being with my friends and improving my hockey skills. Coach Shaw was very helpful. He is a great coach and made sure that we all play right. He was always encouraging us, giving us advice to play better, ASHAR's decision to allow us to have hockey practice and scrimmages this year made this year so much more enjoyable for all of us on the hockey team.
In my ASHAR years, I have been on 2 school teams, Torval and hockey. In hockey, my greatest year was last year when I was in 7th grade, and we won the division championships. This year, in Torval, we were competing for the championships on the 21st. Overall, both teams have taught me sportsmanship and kindness.
One of my favorite memories at ASHAR was being on the basketball team. Being on the basketball team taught me sportsmanship and teamwork. It was a really fun experience traveling to other schools and playing against them. Thank you Coach Fetman and Coach Friedman for teaching me more about the sport and improving my skills.
During my time at ASHAR, playing sports during recess and gym was something I always look forward to. It could be really competitive but also really fun. It would get everyone involved and it helped me improve my skills and get better.
One of my favorite things about my time in ASHAR was playing on the basketball team. I had a lot of fun. It taught me many things. It taught me good sportsmanship, hard work, determination, and how to work with the team. These skills will help me not just with sports, but with anything I have to do in my future.
Throughout my middle school years at ASHAR, the Rebbeim have helped me grow throughout Torah. I remember my first year at Rabbi Torsky. He was very good at helping me adjust to a new school and teaching me. Rabbi C, during senior year, he was very good at helping me like to learn more, and also his high school guidance, and I wouldn't be the man I am today without them, and I'm truly thankful for them.
At ASHAR, I really feel that my teachers helped me become a better person. They believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself, and made me realize what I'm capable of. I'm really grateful for having these teachers.
Throughout my middle school years in ASHAR, I've learned a lot of Torah. My Rebbe's taught me how to enjoy Torah, how to learn it, how to experience it. Not a lot of people are fortunate enough to go to such a great school.
My favorite class during middle school was art class. It was amazing to see what some of my friends could make with just popsicle sticks and cardboard. One person actually made it was like a big Thor's hammer, and art class just brought out the imagination in some people that I never think they can have that.
After 3 months of Zoom last year, I was really intrigued to come and learn in school with all my friends and teachers, and was excited to experience the 8th grade trip this year.
When I first came to ASHAR, I thought that I would be the kid on the side with nothing to do and nothing to play. When I came, I was surprised by everybody inviting me to come over and play with them. I really enjoyed making friends here and good relationships.
During my years at ASHAR, I made a lot of good memories. Some of my favorite memories were made during class trips. My favorite trips were the Holocaust Museum and the Science Museum. I also made a lot of good memories doing class plays, especially in the young grades, specifically the Japanese play and the French play in 3rd grade.
I want to thank ASHAR for preparing me for high school. I learned a lot from the teachers around Bayham at ASHAR. I also appreciate the way ASHAR supports Israel and its programs during the year to celebrate Israel.
I would like to thank the teachers at ASHAR for helping me learn and study.
the skills will be useful in the future, like high school or college. Thank you.
As I graduate ASHAR and I look back, I recognize that all my teachers were very helpful and they taught me a lot.
Bereshus, Rabbi Jacobson, Mrs. Jacobson, Mrs. Shu, Mrs. Refer, Rabbi Chaitovsky, my grandparents, my beloved parents, and friends. In Parshas Shalach, we see that we must find the good in everything. Before the Jews went into Eretz Yisrael, Moshe picked 12 spies, otherwise known as the Meraglim, who were the 12 leaders of the Shvatim in the Midbar. When the Meraglim were sent by Moshe to go and inspect Eretz Yisrael, they went with a very negative outlook and tried their hardest to find whatever is bad in the land. For example, when they brought back the fruit to show the rest of Bnei Yisrael, they could have focused on the good. They could have shown the positive aspects of the land and how much good there would be there. They could have said, look how nice and fruitful the land is. However, since they went looking for negativity, they saw the fruit and turned it into a negative aspect. They said that the fruit is so large, and imagine how big and scary the people there must be. From this we learned that when a person has a negative mindset, they could have let small negative points overshadow all the good. And vice versa, if they're looking for the good, they can find a lot of good around them. Here in ASHAR, it's very easy to look for the good, because everywhere I look, I only see good, starting with my friends that have been there with me in ASHAR, from the Torah Bowl to the hockey team. There's good everywhere. The Rebbeim and teachers are so friendly and caring for me, and throughout my middle school years, they infused positivity and Yiddishkeit in every lesson they taught us. Our Rebbeim and teachers ensured that my important Gemara skills, language skills, and math greatly improved year after year, from when we started middle school until now, here at a graduation. I will never be able to describe the gratitude I have to everyone who helped me along the way. I know that what we learned here will help me in high school and beyond. On behalf of my fellow ASHAR 2021 graduates, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Congratulations, class of 2021. Mazel Tov.